Welcome to Office Hours by Triple X Church. I'm your host, Carl Thomas. I'm a pastor, certified neurohealth coach, and a guy who frankly struggled with a lot of the stuff we're going to be talking about today for nearly 20 years, until I found freedom about a decade ago. In today's episode, we are going to be jumping in and answering these questions. What should I do when I keep having a porn scene come into my mind after being sober a few days? What advice do you have to help me prevent being bored so I can live on purpose, since boredom is a major trigger for me? And do you think vibrators for women can serve as, well, the same purpose as porn does for men? That's what I will be discussing today, so make sure you hang in there and jump into these topics with us. Recognize that no questions are off the table, and I'm going to be as honest and as blunt with my answers as I possibly can be, so don't get offended. So without any further delay, let's jump in. Okay, first question. What should I do when I have a porn scene that keeps coming in my mind after being sober a few days? So, with these types of questions, I can usually answer these from personal experience. The idea of a porn scene coming into your mind, that will happen not just a few days after being sober. That could happen after years of sobriety, right? I mean, it's just one of those things because those images are very much burned into your brain. Nothing you can do about it, okay? It's happened to me. It's happened to me 2 years after being sober, okay? I would say free in my case, 5 years and even 20 years. I mean, well, not 20 years, but 10 years later. I mean, I've had these things where something pops in my mind and I remember something I saw from 15 years ago. And I think to myself, oh, wow, I remember that. What do you do? Because it's kind of a mind bomb, okay? It's a very tough situation. I would say first thing you got to do is just kind of change your scene, right? Change your scenery. Try to get away from it. Now, if you're in bed at night, it can be kind of tough to do that, but go out, grab a coffee, get some movement going, because here's the thing. Neurologically speaking, movement will change your emotional state. That's just a scientific fact, right? So if you're sitting on the couch and you're thinking about something, a scene, and it's kind of making you a little edgy or horny or whatever you want to call it, and you feel kind of triggered, go out and do a run, right? And I promise you, I'm not saying it's going to completely go away, but your emotional state will change because you changed your physical state. Second thing you can do, reach out. So call your accountability partner. If you're part of the Live Free community, post in the community. Hey guys, this just kind of popped in my head. Don't give a description. Say, I just need to get that out there. Sometimes just simply being honest and calling it out is a big shift, right? That provides a big mental shift. It kind of encourages or helps your awareness of the situation. And man, awareness is half the battle. And I'll tell you this, I did this one time and it worked. It's not the typical advice you would get, but I got mad, right? So driving up to a Porn and Pancakes, this is years ago. It was an event we did with Triple X Church for many, many years, and we're going to start doing that again. And I'm driving down the road, been free, sober, whatever you want to call it, for probably about 2 years at that point. And then all of a sudden, this thought came into my mind from a video, it was a video game, I think, actually, that I remembered. And I don't know why it popped into my mind, but it just did. And it kind of freaked me out because it came out of nowhere. And oh, wow, what the heck? And I stopped for a second and thought to myself, you know what? Things are going really well in my life in regards to this stuff, right? I'm working in a ministry that I really enjoy. My marriage is doing well. I'm free of this stuff. I don't think about it every day. I don't feel like I'm struggling with it every day. I don't want to go back there, but because things are going really well and I'm getting the opportunity to work with other guys who need help, I'm sure someone's not really happy about that. Now, you know who that someone is, hopefully. And so I just got mad. I got really mad thinking about it. Like, you know what, dude? You want to bring me down so bad. You want to stop me living my best life so bad that you'll do whatever it takes to ruin me. And that's the way I thought about it. This is a me versus you type of battle. You want to ruin me. And so you're going to throw anything on my road that's going to do that. And you know what? I won't say it now, but in the car I did. I said, F you, that ain't going to happen. I was mad. I started yelling. I mean, kind of to myself. If people were driving by, they probably thought I was crazy. But honestly, I got really angry about it. And the funny thing was, moments later, a couple of minutes later, I wasn't even thinking about that scene anymore. I was so amped up. I was just like, I can't believe this. You ain't taking me down, bro. And that was it. I didn't think about it the rest of the day. So that worked for me. Not saying it's going to work for you, but that was kind of a unique thing that I've done in the past, and it actually really worked. Ultimately, what that did was it created an awareness in me, right? Hey, this is in my head. I have a choice here, and this choice is no good. And someone wants me to make that choice because they know it's no good. I'm aware of that, and now I'm going to do something about it. So I hope that helps. Second question, what advice do you have to help me prevent from being bored? Yeah, anyway, and living on purpose since boredom is a major trigger for me. So what you're asking is, hey, how do I not be bored? Why is boredom such a major trigger? And how do I live on purpose? So the funny thing is, you almost answered kind of your own question here. And what I mean is this. For me, boredom was a major trigger. Major trigger. And what happens is a lot of time is sometimes we look at the surface level trigger and we never bother to go below and see what is the real trigger. And this is what I mean. Boredom is going to happen to all of us. Okay? We're not on call 24/7. Hopefully, we're not running around all day, all night. And if we are, that's not really healthy. There's going to be moments of boredom, okay, in our life. And that should not, in an ideal, healthy situation, send us looking for porn. But it did with me. Boredom was terrible. And after a lot of reflection and all sorts of introspection, I realized that boredom for me was a reminder that at that stage in my life, I didn't feel like I had purpose, right? I felt like I'm bored because I got nothing to do, because I don't matter. And so it was that realization that I don't matter. That's what really was triggering me. So the boredom reminded me of the deeper pain, which was a self-worth issue. And then that encouraged me or motivated me to go seek out porn to kind of escape that situation because it was just unpleasant, right? So, like I said, you kind of answered your own question here. Why is boredom a major trigger? That you need to dig into. What is it about being bored? Like what emotional state or what emotion or what feeling is that state of boredom kind of bringing out in you? What is it reminding you of? What insecurity, what self-worth issue possibly is this boredom making me think about? And then the answer to that, of course, is yeah, you know what? I feel that way, but I don't have to feel that way because I need to live on purpose. And that's a bigger topic for another conversation. How do you live on purpose? I'd say the best place to start is figuring out your why. Look up Simon Sinek. He wrote a book on it. He has a great video on it. But understanding your why, what gets you out of bed each day, what motivates you, that's huge. You need to know your why in life. And then when you know your why, you can start organizing your values and your goals around that. And then that's how you live on purpose because you are doing things or not doing things to help you get to your why. That's all I got. All right, last question. Do you think vibrators for women can serve the same purpose as porn does for men? Yes and no, okay? Because vibrators at the end of the day it's basically just, we're talking about for the purposes of female masturbation. And porn isn't masturbation, it's what most guys use for masturbation. But I understand what you're asking here. And yeah, of course. I mean, that's the thing. It's funny. Even to this day, there's still kind of this weird idea that, well, men, this is a man's issue. This is something guys struggle with. Women don't really struggle with it. So maybe, they have a vibrator or they read a romance novel. It's not really the same thing. Dude, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay? Masturbation is masturbation. Porn is porn. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, and both men and women are susceptible to that stuff, right? Because they both have this, they're both dealing with the same things. You both have pain in your life. You both have possibly trauma in your life. There's still things in your past you need to deal with. And so porn and masturbation and these sorts of things are a way to build false connection. They're a way to escape. They're a way sometimes to affirm some of the negative self-beliefs you're carrying around. It's no difference. So yeah, is a vibrator the same thing for a woman as masturbation and porn is for a man? Absolutely. It's the same dang thing. I don't really see any difference there at all. Now we could get into the whole masturbation topic and, well, hey, what if I'm using a vibrator, but I'm not thinking, we're not going to go there. We've talked about that in previous videos, but for the purpose of this question, yeah, same dang thing, no difference, end of story. So anyway, there you go. That's what we got for you today. Hope that helps. If you ask these questions, I hope I answered them. And if you have any questions of your own, you can, of course, make comments. If you're watching on YouTube, you can leave a comment for us. Best thing to do, go to triplexchurch.com/office-hours and submit your own question, and I will answer it in an upcoming episode. That's it. I hope you have a great weekend.